The story begins at a construction site. All the laborers are engaged in their work. There is a man among them. His name is Baek Yisu. Baek Yisu is extremely good-looking. He has a strange charisma on his face, which doesn't match at all with a construction worker's job. He is talking on the phone. His sweet older brother is shouting at him on the other end of the phone. His older brother's identity is strange. He has long hair and unique red eyes. He makes fun of his younger brother Baek Yisu on the phone and says, "Do I need any reason to call you? It has been a long time. I haven't seen your face." Baek Yisu respects his brother. Yes, he was a bit busy recently. At that moment, a colleague standing beside him taunts the other workers and says, "You should not pour so much cement at once, otherwise it will start floating later." On the other end of the phone, Baek Yisu's elder brother hears the noise and says, "He will talk later." As soon as Baek Yisu was about to tell his brother something about the day's events, a loud noise suddenly came from behind him. Upon hearing this, he and his companion turned around to look, and we find that someone has been thrown inside. Seeing this scene, his companion's head starts to fill with angry blood. The man who went inside was extremely muscular. He had a long scar on his right shoulder. His voice was extremely ugly. He was talking about the thieves of Nam Chasen. Upon hearing this, Baek Yisu immediately understands that this man is from Special Operations Team 2's Task Force South. He had carried out 4 infiltration missions in the South. His name was Rai Hyung-kal. After that, Baek Yisu says to his brother that he will call later. Then he asks the newly arrived worker, who had been thrown out, about his condition. The worker, trembling, tells him that he is fine and the wound is not very deep. Baek Yisu starts to unbutton his shirt and says to that worker whether he should stop the bleeding. Here, the narrator reveals Baek Yisu's real identity. Name, Baek Yisu, Position H, Special Operations Team Task Force North Leader. Experience, 4 years of long-term infiltration in North Korea and a record of 12 infiltration missions. Seeing all this, the soldiers nearby start whispering to each other. They bet on how long Captain Baek will take to defeat this man. Some say 10 seconds, others say that it will last up to 30 seconds. Upon hearing these words, Rai Hyung-kal goes crazy. His mind spins under such humiliation. He loses control, and he launches an attack, but the narrator says, fighting someone who has lost their balance is very easy. In reality, it is very easy. Baek Yisu responds with a powerful hook punch. The punch was so fast that Rai Hyung-kal's teeth clashed together. But Baek Yisu doesn't stop here. Another punch was already prepared for him. Baek Yisu does not forgive anyone who provokes him. Baek Yisu attacks him. And that's the outcome, which happens to everyone. Rai Hyung-kal lies unconscious on his back on the ground. Baek Yisu uses a cloth to clean himself with a completely calm face. Then he puts on his shirt, and he gives orders to his men. They tend to the new worker and clean the area. He says that he has to leave first. His men start cleaning the corpse of Rai Hyung-kal, the narrator notes. Such incidents keep occurring every few days. It means that enemies keep appearing in their secret operation, whom they have to quietly put to rest. Baek Yisu calmly tells his men that if anyone asks, just say they are all working on the construction site. After that, he heads toward a very luxurious and fancy restaurant in his construction worker's clothes. Inside the restaurant, a receptionist sees him in his dirty and ordinary clothes and blocks his way. He tells her that the entire restaurant is booked for today. Baek Yisu says calmly that he has an appointment here with his brother. But the receptionist still looks at him with disdain. He says with a sly smile, "You must wear formal clothes in our restaurant. Could you please go back, get ready and come back?" When Baek Yisu was being humiliated like this, he meets a certain person. The one he knows, yes, it was his elder brother whom we had seen on the phone earlier. He gets ready in a suit and boots, goes out to meet his older brother and waves. He teases his younger brother while laughing. And he asks, has he not come inside yet? Or has he not mentioned that he has an appointment with his younger brother? He goes to Baek Yisu's place. He says to the receptionist, "This is my little brother, I'm sure. There is no problem now, right?" As soon as he hears this, the receptionist loses consciousness. He realizes it. He has picked a fight with the wrong man. He bows deeply and apologizes. He didn't know he was the younger brother of director Baek Dukayang. But putting a hand on his brother's shoulder feels strange and uncomfortable. His brother teases him by looking at his back. "Look at my younger brother's cold back. The safety first slogan looks pretty cool." At that time, the construction site colleagues of Beak Yi-soo were having a small party. But he is extremely irritated and angry, and a man shouts. 3 months later, under the name of a company party, all we got was this. Other people say, wait, their section chief will definitely bring some good food. A man expresses regret. We should have gone with the captain. That place is very expensive. The food there will definitely be delicious. Only then does someone say the section chief has arrived. Everyone immediately welcomes him with respect. The section chief seems to be a respectable man wearing a suit. He apologizes as soon as he arrives. But I have something to say. That's why I stopped you all here. He asks where Captain Beak is. A man says the captain has gone out on personal work. Upon hearing this, a strange smile appears on the section chief's face. And he says, if that's the case, things will get messed up again. Before anyone could understand anything, he pulls out his gun. And he fires a direct shot into the head of a worker. Everyone freezes. Suddenly, armed soldiers leap out of the vehicles. The section chief announces. At this moment, the special operations team is disbanded. These armed people are their own hired men. They have now been discarded. That is, their necessity has ended. The section chief is carrying out the order to eliminate all of them. The scene returns to the restaurant. On one side, all of Beak Yi-soo's friends are being killed. On the other side, in the city's most luxurious restaurant, where the best wine and special food are being served, Beak Yi-soo was sitting with his brother. He was completely unaware that his entire team was being eliminated deceptively. His older brother gravely calls out Beak Yi-soo's name. He gives him a business card, and he says that he wants something. Does Beak Yi-soo work in his company? He asks jokingly, why is a soldier working in a company like Safety First? Beak Yi-soo calmly replies, is he doing this work to help people? Upon hearing this, his older brother starts to laugh. He says, nowadays, soldiers have to do manual labor to help people. While pouring alcohol, he continues to taunt Beak Yi-soo. He says that he is running a business, while his younger brother is working a low-paying job, which makes him feel bad, he says. Managing the race this way isn't as difficult as it seems. When he says all this, he looks around. Beak Yi-soo is daydreaming. He asks irritably, Safety First, are you even listening? Just then, a phone in Beak Yi-soo's pocket vibrates. He notices that this is an unknown number, which he has not saved. He asks his brother for a minute and goes to the restroom to answer the call. Seo was one of his team members on the phone. Seo asks in a strange manner, has the captain eaten a lot of expensive food? Beak Do-kyung immediately realizes. Seo's voice sounds strange. He ignores his nonsense and asks directly what's happened. The scene moves to the construction site, where Seo is hiding in a corner, and his whole body is covered in blood. He explains to Beak Yi-soo, except for the captain, everyone else has eaten a lot of expensive food. Then he says, I ate a bit too much and I feel strange. It was a code to describe his injured condition. Upon hearing this, Beak Do-kyung's voice becomes harsh. He warns Seo. He says he doesn't joke and asks, what actually happened? Then Seo tells the truth. He says, in order to eliminate them, all has been given. They have all been discharged. He explains that the order is to fire them from their jobs and then kill them. He says, it is because the cunning and clever section, Chief Jang, has betrayed them all. He says that they were all very careless. Beak Yi-soo lacks trust, he says. He says that he is coming back to the construction site. And Seo tells him to wait. Then the sound becomes filled with panic. Captain, run quickly. He will soon come to find you. Beak Yi-soo's eyes widen with fear. He keeps shouting Seo repeatedly, but no response comes. In the end, the phone disconnects. Beak Yi-soo realizes that the situation is very bad. Meanwhile, a suspicious person arrives at the main door of the restaurant. He is wearing special armed shoes. The same receptionist, as always, looks at the guests' clothing and welcomes them. He is about to tell them that the restaurant is reserved today and that it is not taking any customers. But before he can say anything, the person attacks him. There was a sharp liquid on his knife. The receptionist falls to the ground, and the narrator comments, he paid the price for not checking the day for bad omens. Now the host of the entire party, Beak Yi-soo, was surrounded. But the narrator says, fortunately, those people chose the wrong enemy. Those attackers had blocked Beak Yi-soo's path. They blocked him right at the spot where his brother was present. An attacker strikes him at a very high speed. His speed was truly incredible. But for the back kick, that speed was within his reach. He effortlessly dodges the attack. and he countercuts. In one move, he defeats the attacker. Then he cleverly snatches the knife from the second attacker. The narrator says, without dragging it out, a clean, skillful, fatal strike. These attackers were striking in a covering manner, meaning one after another, so the target didn't get a chance to steady himself. A man falls, then another immediately takes his place. But for Beak Yisu, he knew every weakness of this speed and attack strategy well. His next strike was so jarring and painful that the attacker was stunned for a moment. But Beak Yisu does not stop there. He will not leave anyone alive who wants to kill him. Soon, all the attackers were lying on the ground. Beak Yisu terrifies the remaining people as if he were a terrible god. They have no courage to advance recklessly. Then he removes his safety-first shirt, and he gestures for all of them to come forward. These attackers had been given a clear death order. Therefore, even after seeing his two companions fall, he attacks again. Beak Yisu deflects every knife with ease. Beyond this, he takes advantage of the defense and counters the attack. He completely breaks this enclosure. With one knife, he can handle 3 people at the same time. But he cannot escape some dirty tricks. A wound lands on his shoulder. Someone had launched a hidden knife attack from behind, and the man who was attacking from behind lunges at him. In the end, he ignores the entire team's sacrifice and leaves. Yes, it was the section chief. His assistant reports to him that the construction site has been cleared, but he is more concerned about Beak Yisu's condition. A new Special Operations Team Squad 1 is in action, and the results will be reported soon. The section chief takes a puff of his cigarette and mutters that Squad 1 is not enough. This is a bloodthirsty knife. Therefore, he orders the deployment of another squad. They must be killed. No witness should be left alive. He says that bodies can be gathered, but the mission must be completed. After dealing with those people, he goes to find his brother like a madman. He finds his brother's glasses on the ground, whose lenses have turned to blood. His brother asks those people a question with a blood-soaked face. He had captured an attacker. He asks them, "Where is your family on such a beautiful day?" The narrator asks, "Are they at work?" He doesn't know whether his brother gave those people a chance to answer or not. But the sharp blade has created a chill. Then fresh blood spreads into the air, which splatters on his brother's face, and it blends with his hazy red eyes. He now realizes that if he kills them, he would not get an answer, but it was already too late. He expresses regret that those people ruined his brother's food. Then the radio of one of the killed attackers starts beeping. Beak Dukhyung picks up that radio. He wonders what it is. A voice comes from the radio. It is a report. The target's location has been found. The signal was coming intermittently, and the sound was not clear. Beak Dukhyung doesn't care about it and first cleans his hands. He murmurs, nowadays even goons are using such technology. But ultimately, the order on the radio is clearly audible. Target Bakalilu, immediately find and eliminate. Beak Dukhyung's facial expression changes. He wipes blood from his face and asks in a very cold and dangerous voice, "Who did you just tell to kill?" Here, the narrator introduces his true form. CEO Beak Dukhyung is the CEO of TS Financial Group and also the boss of the Tisan Association. Now the scene returns above the bike lane. He was looking for his brother. He sees blood stains outside the restroom. He panics. He runs quickly to check. He hopes his brother is okay, but his brother was completely okay. He was just a little annoyed. He asks his younger brother, "Are all these your guests? There are quite a lot." Soon both brothers, exhausted, get into a car and leave from there. In the car, Beak Yisu tries to collect his thoughts. He asks his younger brother whether he is part of HID. The driver seated in front sees his boss in the rear view mirror. He thinks he looks a little nervous, as if he had just run. The background was still unable to fully accept this truth. He asks again. He shows a hair tie and reminds him, "This is HID, it is difficult to remember, so it can be called intelligence." The narrator says, "This driver is quite good." Beak Dukhyung ties his hair, which makes his face appear clear. Then he says to his younger brother, "So you are not an ordinary soldier, but an intelligence agent." He goes on to say, "So you are stopping North Korea and also killing people." Beak Yisu lowers his head. Now he had to accept his brother's true identity. His brother was not just a common gangster, but the boss of the Tisan Association, a major gangster organization in Seoul. The narrator says, "It was true beyond words because they were twin brothers." Beak Yisu always thought that his brother was living a good life. At that moment, Beak Yisu says to his brother, He explains, "What you just saw, if you stay with me, you will also end up in danger. They will keep looking for me until I die." His older brother Baek Do-kyung smiles at hearing this. He acknowledges that he is truly scared. Then he makes a joke. "If that's the case, get off there. Oh, but get down in front of the first police station so that it's easier for them to find you." Hearing this, Baek Yi-soo gets angry. But his brother doesn't care about this and says, "We are here, get down." Why does Baek Do-kyung get out of the car first? Baek Yi-soo goes behind him and asks what he should do now. Suddenly, his brother stops and calls his name. Before he says anything else, we see that they have arrived at the place. It wasn't any special place, but a funeral hall, and their enemy was already present there. There were many people in black clothing here, preparing flowers for the funeral. The narrator says that it was the funeral of a famous person. Therefore, it looked very splendid. Baek Do-kyung turns, and he asks his younger brother carelessly, "Do I look like I'm joking?" Ron was there when the secretary of Baek Do-kyung arrives. The narrator says while praising him, "A secretary who is good both inside and out." Soo-ah comes and says that everything is ready for the director. Then she gives the director a funeral picture and says she hopes everything will be completed within the next 2 hours. Here the real plan emerges, which is her brother's plan. The narrator explains that only if this younger brother dies can everything be finished. Therefore, Baek Do-kyung has decided to let Baek Yi-soo die. He takes the photo in his hands, which now has Baek Yi-soo's face on it, and places it on the flower-decorated altar. Baek Do-kyung had learned this method from the Yakuza in the past. He heard that they used this method to wash their hands of their business or to change their identity. Baek Yi-soo asks if they will believe this. Baek Do-kyung answers that, of course, they will doubt it. But the most important thing is that he explains that our Tisen Association knows much more than they realize. Countless types of guests will come here. He further says that when the younger brother of the head of the Tisen Association dies, high-ranking officials will come here to pay their condolences. When they see the mourners like this, they will become reliable witnesses. If that is the case, will they still have doubts? He finally says, "Not at all, my little brother. As long as I believe in it, they will also have to believe in it." The last rites had begun several hours ago. Then an unknown car arrives, but the narrator notes. More accurately, it is not unknown. Seeing the car, members of the Tisen Association get angry. He shouts, "Are they here to eat free food?" And those of higher rank than him have already left. So why is he sitting in the vehicle? Inside the vehicle, Section Chief Jang was seated. He had investigated the twin relationship between Baek Yi-soo and Baek Do-kyung. He thought there was some deeper reason behind it, but he found out that Baek Do-kyung is just a gangster. Then a man loyal to Baek Do-kyung lost his patience. He delivers a strong punch to the car window. He shouts, "This is not a place like that, where you can park your car at will." Inside the car, Section Chief Jang reminds his men, this is the final mission before going to the battlefield. He gives orders, open the coffin and verify that Baek Yi-soo is alive. Or not, his men wear their hats, and they get out of the car. He stares at the men of the Tisen Association, which makes him uncomfortable. A goon grabs the man's collar and asks, "What are you doing here wearing this cheap shirt? Have you come here to stroll?" When there is no answer, the special agent signals the goon to remain quiet with his finger. When the goon does not reply, the gangster teases and tries to lift his cap with his finger to see if he is deaf or not. But before he can finish his sentence, a powerful punch lands on his face. The punch was so fast that the people standing there did not understand what happened. Only the man who threw the punch saw what happened. He could see what happened, and obviously, he showed absolutely no mercy. With this single punch, that Tisen Association thug ends up in a heap on the ground. Seeing this, the other goons immediately become cautious. He realizes that these people have not come here to pay tribute. He decides to teach that dog a lesson for daring to cause such a commotion during the funeral rites. But the special agent remains standing calmly, and his two companions charge forward. Their speed and movements were precise, showing professional coordination. There was no weakness in their attacks. Every one of their strikes targeted the body's vulnerable parts. In plain words, these people were warriors trained in a very professional manner. It seems that some bodies will fall tonight during the funeral. Opposing them will bring their deaths more quickly. Soon all the goons of the Tisen Association will be completely defeated. The narrator reveals his true identity. These were HID special operatives who worked in the north and were also members of the HID's No. 2 assassins group. From above, Bikisu and a muscular man watched all this. This muscular man seemed far calmer and more dangerous than his fallen comrades. It seems that now he has no choice but to take off his vest. He doesn't go down the stairs. Instead, as he moves forward, he begins to take off his jacket. He steps in front of the HID members and stands. He displays a strict demeanor and announces, "Our Tisan family only welcomes those who have received a message." There was pride in their eyes. They felt that they were the most powerful of all. Therefore, before anyone could say anything else, they start throwing punches. But they had attacked the wrong man. He was the head of TS Financial Group's security team, associated with the Hanmej district of the Tisan Association, and known as the immovable Yaksha Ha Jin Young. He tells them to stop and turn around. But first, he had to repay their kindness. Ha Jin Young easily stops the special agent's punch. Seeing this, the rest of the agents are rattled. They stay because that man had fallen. Even more, this muscular man was strange. He carelessly snapped a man's neck with one hand, then raised his arm without getting it dirty. Finally, the man falls down, bleeding from his mouth, and he dies forever. The rest of the agents immediately become alert. Breaking someone's bones with bare hands was no ordinary feat. Therefore, their leader shouts at everyone to attack that unknown person. But Ha Jin Young's level was on an entirely different tier. He handles these short, stout people very easily. A while ago, he had come to someone else's funeral to display his strength. But now Ha Jin Young has turned around and attacked. Even when two thugs faced him, he easily defeated them. They are killed by his powerful strike. Yes, Ha Jin Young looks their way. But when an egg strikes a stone, the outcome is the same. What was to be, their attacks have no effect on him. But Ha Jin Young remains unaffected by this attack. He calmly stares them down. The narrator uses a proverb here. But when an egg hits a stone, it cracks. Then it is the egg that breaks. This clearly meant that the strength of these agents was nothing compared to Ha Jin Young. The attacking agent couldn't believe it when they saw this. That man couldn't believe it. And he kept punching. He prayed that this dog would fall. But his punches had no effect on Ha Jin Young. It was now Ha Jin Young's turn. After throwing so many punches, he had to receive something in return. Ha Jin Young responds with a single terrifying punch. The punch was so powerful that the special agent flew into the air, and his head hits the ground. And with just one strike, the opponent was forced headfirst into the ground. Yes, Ha Jin Young was still holding the other agent by his neck. The agent, in panic, tries to attack Ha Jin Young's neck. And to choke him, he steps on his own foot. But all his attempts go in vain, the narrator says. Every trick learned in training fails to work. Yes, Ha Jin Young easily lifts him and throws him onto the ground like a bag of trash. Before the agent can recover, Ha Jin Young rains a barrage of strong punches on him. He didn't even give his enemies a chance to breathe. In the end, the punch was so powerful that blood spurted from the agent's mouth. The narrator says mockingly, "Jaw to jaw, love and affection lingered so they could reunite in the next life." Logging out meant being finished forever. In the end, all the special agents lay unconscious on the ground. Seeing all this, Section Chief Jang, seated in the vehicle, was extremely angry. He couldn't believe that all his men turned out to be useless. He decided to handle the matter himself because none of them were competent. He will do it himself. His purpose was clear: to open the tomb and confirm whether Bikisu is alive. He gets out of his car. He fastens the buttons of his jacket. And with utmost humility, he moves his hand toward Ha Jin Young. He puts on a show of apologizing that perhaps there was a misunderstanding. Then he shows his ID card and introduces himself. He says that he is the superior of Bikisu and that he came here only to express condolences. He lies, claiming he met Bikisu only once, which perhaps caused the misunderstanding. Ha Jin Young does not give any response. Only one person has the right to speak here, their leader. He looks up the stairs toward the back rooms for direction. Then Ha Jin Young opens his mouth, and he signals the section chief to come along. Finally, the section chief gets the opportunity to go to the funeral altar. He lights incense and stands in front of the picture of Bikisu. But in his mind, there was no mourning, only questions. He was wondering whether Bikisu had really died. And how much does his brother Beek Dukayung actually know? At that point, the story moves into a flashback. We see that before this, Bikisu had truthfully told his brother everything about the section chief's deception and this entire conspiracy. Beek Dukayung asks his younger brother what he should do now. Should he just keep pretending to die? Bikisu replies that there is no need to show the face to the section chief. Then Baek Du-kyung says, okay, so I will give him a little soup and drive him away from here. But Baek Yi-soo had a better plan. He says that he will directly face Section Chief Jang. The scene returns to the present. Baek Yi-soo was in morning clothes. He draws a sharp dagger from behind the flower wall. Baek Yi-soo draws a sharp dagger from behind the flower wall. The narrator says, this knife was sweet like a flower. He calls out the name of Section Chief Jang. Upon hearing his voice, Section Chief Jang is startled. He turns around, now they are face to face. Baek Yi-soo, who had altered his brother's disguise. He is finally ready to talk to him. He asks in a cold voice, do you know what this is? His voice is so threatening that the section chief quivers with fear. Baek Yi-soo warns him, I am warning you. I found this with my brother's body. Explain this properly. Otherwise, your body will also lie here beside my brother. So who killed my brother? Hearing this question, everything becomes clear in the section chief's mind. His doubt now turns into certainty, that his brother has indeed died. He thinks if that's the case, so I just have to deceive this thug. Therefore, he starts lying. He tells the section chief to calm down. And he explains, actually, he passed away while completing a national mission. It is related to national security. Therefore, I cannot tell you. But as soon as he finishes his point, Baek Yi-soo hits him with a powerful punch to the stomach. The punch was so strong that the pain reached his navel, and blood starts flowing from his nose. It seems as if his nose has broken. Baek Yi-soo scolds him, because he shouldn't have listened to such a long and detailed story. He just wanted one answer. Who killed my brother? The section chief thinks that he will kill him again. Therefore, he raises his hand in defense. But before Baek Yi-soo could do anything, he is stopped by Soo-ah. Also, Ha Jin-young was present there. He advises the section chief to leave there. But Baek Yi-soo's blood was flowing. He had lost his composure and was shouting that the section chief should stay there. The narrator says, only a fool would stay here for so much money. The section chief immediately runs away from there. Upon seeing this, the genuine bag shop owner who had been hidden until now becomes extremely angry. He also shouts the same question. Who hit my brother? The scene changes. Now we are in the luxurious office residence of Mr. Baek Du-kyung. He asks his secretary, Soo-ah, if his brother's anger was the same as his own. The secretary corrects his tone. While Baek Yi-soo couldn't understand what they were doing, the older brother holds a cup of coffee and sits beside his younger brother and praises him. You are really acting very well. He explains that intelligence agents have to learn acting to change disguises and infiltrate. Baek Yi-soo says nothing, but the most important thing is that they have gained some time. He was sure that the section chief would return. Therefore, Baek Du-kyung orders his men to follow the section chief and install a tracker on him. Then he offers his younger brother a position in his company. But Baek Yi-soo declines. He says that he can't hide here for his whole life. As he turns to leave, he answers his brother's question. You asked me if I was acting during my own last rites. That wasn't acting, I really wanted to kill him. Upon hearing this, Baek Du-kyung's facial expression changes. He realizes that his brother's anger was completely genuine. He says, so that is why you are here. You are going to settle the matter with him. He explains to his brother that he has understood everything, and now he does not need to do anything. He is trying to explain to his brother. I know what you are about to say. I understand, but don't do anything. Can't you stay with me here? You are still alive. But Baek Yi-soo cuts his brother's advice midway and asks a straight and honest question. You want me to stay here and become a gangster with you? Hearing this, the gang's mood turns sour. He believes that we are gangsters. If I have to accept it, then yes, it is true. In the end, Baek Yi-soo rejects his brother's help and proposal. He leaves from there without looking back. Yi-soo's stubbornness gives Du-kyung a headache. He says frustratedly, this is so stupid. This can't be my twin brother at all. Therefore, he gives orders to Ha Jin-young. He orders him to take some men with him so that Baek Yi-soo cannot cause any trouble and so that he can be protected. The scene changes. Baek Yi-soo, wearing a hoodie, was standing alone on a deserted road. The narrator says, at that time there was no one on the road. Only Baek Yi-soo and another person were hiding. This was Ha Jin-young. Baek Yi-soo asks directly. Yes, Ha Jin-young answers with unwavering intent. This is the director's order. Therefore, it's not just me, but the entire group of people who work under me. While they were talking, they completely ignored the person who was watching them from a distance. At that time, Section Chief Jang was at the airport, and was receiving a report on the phone. Now that he is calm, he recalls the angry face of the mourner at the funeral. He becomes convinced that the man had recognized him as a murderer. He realizes that the gang knows something. He thinks that if it is the case, then he should do what is necessary. Then a shadow appears behind him. A hand lands on his shoulder, and a voice whispers in his ear, "Don't turn around. Do you want your daughter to live?" Section Chief Jang becomes a bit calm. Complying with the man's orders, he asks, "What are you going to do?" "I have followed your orders." Voices are coming from behind. But that's what she wants. And here comes a terrifying twist. The point was that the person threatening him was none other than his own daughter. He had come to pick up his daughter from the airport. His daughter complains. She says that the plane seats were very hard. Section Chief Jang could not say anything except to apologize and promise to choose better seats next time. His daughter gives him a hug and says, "But most importantly, I missed you a lot." She makes him promise he will gesture to the plane to make it fly quickly next time. His daughter praises her father greatly. She asks, "Is this the strength of an intelligence agent?" He answers while smiling, "My daughter, your father just works in an office. I am the person who organizes the documents." His daughter thinks, "Does Papa have to fight?" Section Chief Jang's face still had the same calm smile. He says, "Fight? I have never done that." At that moment, Baek Do-kyung realizes that his cigarettes have run out. He asks his secretary to bring something else. She accepts the order and says that she will send someone down. But Baek Do-kyung, irritated, says, "I want to stay here with you." He grumbles, "Mother, let me go. I just want to take a few breaths. Staying here is no different than staying in jail." But Soo-ah says very firmly, "No means no." She reminds him of that. Section Chief Jang has already taken people to protect your brother. Now only directors are here. If you go out, it will be very dangerous. When Do-kyung asks, "There is no one to defend me." Hearing that, a cunning and devilish smile appears on Do-kyung's face. He says, "If that's the case, so let's do it this way." We see in the next moment, the elevator is descending from the 77th floor. We find out. His plan was to take his secretary with him so he could ride comfortably. There were also bodyguards with him in the elevator. Upon seeing her beautiful face, Do-kyung's face turns red, and she starts stammering. Do-kyung does not stop here. He tells his men, "This is your elder sister, so say hello." His thugs also start teasing her, and they ask, "Our elder sister is becoming more and more beautiful each day." Indeed. But in the midst of this fun, the goon's face suddenly becomes serious. He asks a goon, "Everyone calls the thug sister. So who are you? Are you Chief Jang's men?" Upon hearing this, the goon's facial expressions immediately change. He tries to appear that way, as if they don't have a clue at all. But the very next second, the gangster pulls out a sharp knife and attacks. The attack was life-threatening, but for Baek Do-kyung, it was like a mosquito bite. But now he realized that these people are toying with him with the knife. And he didn't have any weapon. He asks Soo-ah. He asks whether she has another knife. Keeping an eye on both thugs, Soo-ah tells him. The knife is in her skirt. He asks for permission to pull the knife from her skirt with a needle without taking his eyes off the enemies. As soon as he takes out the knife, the thug doesn't give him a chance to breathe. A sharp knife flies through the air. Do-kyung changes the direction of his strike with his hand. Then he quickly reverses to attack while defending. But just then he glares and thinks, "Look, this man is wearing very nice clothes." He was wearing protective gear. This is the thug. The thug's knife was so sharp that it could cut through the protective gear. Therefore, he attacks even faster. Do-kyung dodges his strike, and Baek Yi-soo delivers a powerful punch, slamming the thug against the elevator wall. But the situation on the other side was far from all right. It seemed as if Soo-ah was about to be stabbed by the knife. Just then, a strong shoulder blocks the knife's strike. Yes, Baek Do-kyung sacrificed himself to save Soo-ah. Even in this condition, Baek Do-kyung smiles. He gets lost in old memories. It's been a long time. I haven't felt the knife yet. In reality, he understood that these thugs were deliberately targeting Soo-ah to weaken her. If this continues, Soo-ah will be in danger. Therefore, Baek Do-kyung becomes even more serious now. He immediately breaks the gangster's arm. The second gangster lunges towards Soo-ah, but Baek Do-kyung responds with incredible speed and force. He parries the knife and counterattacks. The blow causes the second thug's knife to slip from his hand, and the first thug's arm breaks. But despite the broken arm, he still tries to crawl and pick up the knife. But Su Ah was a step ahead of him. She immediately kicks the knife away, which causes him to startle for a moment. But the thug had another knife hidden behind his back. He was about to draw that knife and strike when Bikisu's hands were tied. But the narrator says these dogs were picking a fight with the wrong man. Baek Do-kyung takes control of both knives. A dark smile appears on his face, and his anger begins to rise. He says, "I have both knives in my hands, and I'm waiting for you. You thought you could apologize, but it was already too late." Meanwhile, the lift from the outside looked completely normal. But as soon as the elevator doors open, Baek Do-kyung shouts at his men, "What kind of work are you doing? You don't know that something is wrong with the elevator." His men start making a commotion upon seeing blood flowing from his shoulder, which causes him to start feeling pain in his head. He says that he just wanted to smoke a cigarette, but why is it so difficult? But after that, what happens makes everyone weep. But who would have thought that the man who had been cheated would be stabbed at that very moment? Baek Do-kyung's own man, whom he trusted, stabbed him in the stomach. It turns out that he was an internal spy. Seeing this, Su-ah is startled. She couldn't say anything else because the face was familiar. But on the contrary, Baek Do-kyung grabs the man's face. He growls while holding the knife that entered his stomach. And he says, "I asked for a cigarette." However, the knife is very large, and it feels quite heavy. He applies a bit of pressure. This causes wrinkles to appear on the man's face. And beneath his skin, a different face emerges. He was wearing a mask. With cold eyes, he says, "Section Chief Jang, don't take this outside. I have specially prepared a big one for you." Bikisu, in anger, throws the knife away, which makes the man keep his distance. He skillfully spins a switchblade in his hand. His fake face is still on his head. Seeing him so confident, Baek Do-kyung says to his men, "Don't give me a cigarette, give me a knife." A man wanted both of them to step back so he could handle this. But Baek Do-kyung was very strict. He said, "Give it to me, just don't run away." He takes the knife. He gives an instruction, "Take Su-ah from here." Protect her, Su-ah wanted to stop. She was forcefully taken from there. Baek Do-kyung gives an order. Do not open the door for strangers. After the elevator doors closed, he was also on the second floor. Now the real show of Baek Do-kyung was about to start. Baek Do-kyung was standing in a shirt stained with his own blood. He had a dangerous smile on his face, the narrator says. And now his show was about to start. While provoking the spy, Baek Do-kyung says, "What to do? I've already guessed your lucky number. Stop talking nonsense." Upon hearing this, the spy finally removes the fake mask from his face. A completely different face emerges from beneath it. He has silver like white gold hair and snake like devilish eyes. Here the narrator reveals his true identity. This man was from the HID Special Forces. He was a senior member of the Shadow Hidden Weapons team, nicknamed Phantom. Phantom says in a complaining tone that Baek Do-kyung talks too much. Seeing that this man knows about his gangster background, Baek Do-kyung is a little angry. It turns into a rant. He asks a direct question. He says that it was actually a trick to buy time, so he can see the wound on his stomach. He realizes that the wound is quite deep. Therefore, he has to end this fight as quickly as possible. Phantom answers his question with a kick. "If I get a chance, I would also want to do that." As soon as he says that, he attacks, holding a switchblade in each hand. He asks while attacking, "Did that thug Bikisu really die?" Baek Do-kyung replies in anger, "Are you joking? You all were given a lot of money for this job. Is it?" "No." Phantom changes the question, "Where is Bikisu?" Hearing this, Baek Do-kyung gets angry. He leans into his ear and shouts, "Are you deaf? Can't you hear clearly?" The scene changes. When the two were fighting, the best bodyguard of Baek Do-kyung, Ha Jin-young, was walking behind his brother Baek Yi-soo on the city streets to protect him. But there was another suspicious person behind them who was following them. Baek Yi-soo and Ha Jin-young turn into a dead-end alley and move away from there. The follower, fearing he might lose them, immediately runs after them. But in that dead-end alley, an unknown punch was waiting for him. Ha Jin-young's fist was extremely powerful. His punch creates an explosion in the air. A cracking sound can be heard clearly. It proved that the pursuer's bone was broken. Then Baek Yi-soo comes forward. He asks the injured man, "Did Chief Zhang ask you to follow me? He asked you to check whether I am alive or dead. Isn't it?" He replies while in pain. "Yes, that's the truth, as expected. It was not so easy to kill Baek Yi-soo." Baek Yi-soo is startled upon hearing the man's voice and tone. Finally, the pursuer removes the hood from his head. It was none other than Lei, a member of his team. Shan says, "It's been a long time, Captain. Today, Ha-jin Young is speaking and asks Beak Yi-soo, "Do you both know each other?" SH screams, performing a drama, taking advantage of this opportunity. Will this uncle take responsibility for it? Look at his hand, it is broken. Ignoring the nonsense, Beak Yi-soo hugs him. He apologizes, saying, "I should have been with all of you at that time. I'm the only one who made it out alive. Please truly forgive me." A silence falls between those two abandoned people who had just escaped death. SH smiles to lift his captain's spirits. He says, staying alive is a good thing. You two and the captain as well, then he says. His hair stood on end. Yes, Ha-jin Young, seeing this, shouts at him. "All right, man, let it be." Then he turns to Beak Yi-soo and asks, "Why aren't you doing something?" "Wait, you're the prince." That's when Beak Yi-soo remembers. And he asks his younger brother, Beak Yi-soo, where he was injured. As soon as it is mentioned, SH doesn't want to say anything. The voice-over narrates that a hole had formed in his stomach, and his arm was also broken. The mind thinks in its own mind. How powerful is that man after all? Is he Gozala? At that moment, he looks toward Ha-jin Young's face with his hand, whose expression had suddenly changed. Shan thinks, but why does this uncle look like that? It seemed as if something terrible had happened, and indeed something terrible had happened. The narrator says, to put it more accurately, an attack has occurred on the Tisan Association's base. And we see Beak Du-kyung fighting his enemy, Phantom. Their enemy was a very dangerous warrior. Every strike of his was a lethal blow. But Beak Du-kyung was not weak either. He could counter his attacks and trouble that man. Phantom was continuously launching one attack after another. Even more so, he was taunting Beak Du-kyung. When the matter becomes serious, one has to fight like this regardless. But in reality, Beak Du-kyung was reaching his limit. The longer this fight continues, the worse it becomes for him. Darkness was spreading before his eyes. The other man, ignoring whatever he was saying, continues to carry out a back attack. But this time, he gets trapped in a maneuver. Phantom uses a thin, invisible wire to control its attacking arm. Phantom must admit that dealing with this thug is difficult. He uses that wire to rotate the knife upward, resulting in a deep wound on the back of the chest. In this attack, Beak Du-kyung's knife falls from his hand. Phantom, praising his strength, says that he is truly a master among masters. Then he asks the same question, where is Beak Yi-soo? Beak Du-kyung does not answer this question, but instead asks a strange and perplexing question. Do you often hear that people don't trust you? Does Phantom not understand what he is doing? Then Beak Du-kyung undoes his hair, and then with his own knife, he cuts his long hair. His hair falls to the ground, and when he raises his face, he was in a new form with short hair. He announces, I am Beak Yi-soo. Upon hearing this, the Phantom becomes numb for a moment. He begins to doubt his own existence. He thinks this can't happen. Taking advantage of this moment of hesitation, Beak Du-kyung, now disguised, advances to attack. But now the Phantom is more cautious. He thinks, Beak Yi-soo can never be so clumsy. He says, let's end this game now. Meanwhile, Phantom uses the same trick again. An invisible wire and a switchblade knife are deployed. But the backup was ready for it. He was not going to get caught in this trick this time. The hair he had cut had been bothering him, but now there was no chance. His cut hair gets caught in the wire. They distract the Phantom's attention. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Beak Du-kyung delivers a powerful strike to his face. A deep wound is inflicted on the Phantom's nose, causing him immense pain. Beak Du-kyung challenges him, get up and keep fighting. Phantom, enraged by disgrace, shouts curses and jumps to attack him. You're a mess, a thug, but losing your temper was your biggest mistake. He showed a weakness. Beak Du-kyung immediately grabs his hand, and the course of the battle completely turns. Phantom had lost his balance in anger. Beak Du-kyung takes advantage of this weakness. His hand was grabbed. Beak Du-kyung strikes another blow on his flank. At this moment, Phantom starts doubting his own existence for the second time. Because this knife-wielding technique was all too familiar, he thinks. Is Beak Yi-soo here? He doesn't believe this. To dispel his doubt, he continuously attacks. In retaliation, Beak Du-kyung mimics his younger brother Beak Yi-soo's fighting style. With one hand attacking and the other defending, the Phantom had now completely taken over. His own switchblade knife scratches his shoulder, causing him agonizing pain. Back Duck-tone does not stop here, he moves forward. Phantom tries to break free from his grip with great hope. He clenches his teeth with such force. They seem as if they will break. In every action of the wretched, fear and the intent to kill were clearly visible. Phantom thinks, could this really be Beak Yisu? The fresh blood dripping from his eyes was the blood of an angel of death. Now Phantom asks him not to come any closer as a favor. The killer was asking someone else for a favor. Back Duking growls while spinning his knife. Back Lisu is just like his brother. In the final moment, Phantom tries to escape, and he plunges into the wall next to him. His enemy Beak Du-kyung was standing completely calm for no reason. In reality, a thick pungent liquid was flowing from Beak Du-kyung's stomach. He faints from the shock of the blood flowing. Then the Phantom sees a car coming. Beak Yisu gets out of the car in panic. He runs towards his brother lying in a pool of blood. His hands were trembling while supporting his brother. He silently prays, "Please, may nothing happen to you." As far as that murderer is concerned, he was limping down the emergency stairs. His body was badly injured and drenched in blood. Finally, he managed to survive. He laughs like a madman with a blood-soaked book and ID in hand, and screams, "Beak Yisu, I have killed you." He had finished the target, but the one he had killed was Beak Yisu's brother. Beak Du-kyung was now immersed in the greatest pain of truly losing a loved one. The entire Tisen Association falls into deep mourning. Suo and Hajin Young assess the condition. Suo realizes that they cannot proceed this way. Not only the headquarters, but also organizations in other areas were noticing their director's absence. Now it was time for them to choose a new representative. Chief Hajin Young also had to do this. Hajin Young stands straight, and he adjusts his suit. Without Beak Du-kyung, Tisen is no longer Tisen. Suo shouts in anger. She says, "At this time, I have to keep their place peaceful and safe, Tisen. They would not want the organization to become ruined like this." But Hajin Young, who had tears in his eyes, he knew this harsh truth. He says it to himself silently. "Suo, do you really not know? There is no such person. In this situation, no one can replace the leader." For him, without Beak Du-kyung, Tisen had no existence. The scene changes. Elsewhere, Seo is trying to stop his captain Beak Yisu. Isu's face was completely serious and filled with the fire of revenge. Seo says with concern, "You are definitely going to do something." They are walking around with a serious face. Beak Yisu explains to Seo in a calm but dangerous tone. "The wound on my brother was inflicted by someone who is trained. It must be one of the special forces working under Chief Jang's orders." He goes on to tell his plan. Most of the special forces working under Chief Jang are undercover. They are completing the mission in the north, just like us. If we find them, then we will catch Chief Jang by the tail. Seo understands the plan. He is worried about what to do now. Tears well up in Beak Yisu's eyes, and he says in a painful voice, "Chief Jang is the one who put my brother in this condition. Therefore, we have to find them all and kill them." Exactly what happened to our team. There was a terrifying mixture of sorrow and the desire for revenge on his face at that moment. That's when the story moves to a completely new place. In the middle of a stealthy meeting in a technology complex in Banwell City, a well-dressed man was peeling an apple with a knife. He grumbles, "No one likes Banwell because there is nothing to eat here." This man was the ICT chairman, Kim Tae-chwan. He complains, "This land is filled with tailors, and there is no way to get money out here." He remembers the old days and says that now he wants to sit in one of the 4 major Seoul organizations. He stands propped against the railing, and we see that he has bound a man with chains hanging down. He mocks the hanging man and asks, "Meanwhile, our chief keeps whispering meaningless sweet words into my ear. Is there? No." The hanging man in panic cannot understand anything at all. When Chairman Kim notices that he is not receiving a correct answer, he says, if he doesn't understand, he cuts a rope with a knife. He compares that man to a raw fruit. "This pear is raw, therefore we have to throw it away." Out of fear of falling down, the man finally spits out the truth. He is screaming, "The Tisen Association has been attacked. A friend in Seoul told me that Tisen has clashed with an unknown force, and there has been no response from their side." He continues to say further. Additionally, Tisen's boss Beak Du-kyung has not been seen anywhere recently. Chairman Kim continues to calmly chew the fruit after hearing this news. Then he asks, "Is this news true?" The man trembles. "I also won't have the courage to speak a lie to you, even in 10 lives. I have told you everything I know." Chairman Kim says, "All right," and he also cuts the last rope. The narrator says it with a dark joke. He gets a free plane ticket to the ground. Now that he has discovered Tisen's weakness, Chairman Kim Tae-chwan gives orders to his men. "Gather everyone, today we will eat Tisen." His plan was clear, to capture Tisen. By chance, the man who was hanged survives even after falling to the ground. Seo is back on the leaseback. He was walking alone in the Manjang livestock market. The narrator tells a proverbial saying that had spread within the organization. The best place is right under everyone's nose. If you leave it where you want, anyone can find it. It meant that their enemies built their hideouts in such places where no one suspects, which means the best place to hide is right in front of everyone. Bikisu, following this saying, was searching for his enemy's next hideout. He was standing in front of a butcher's shop. The voiceover explains the ways of working of Section Chief Jang. He had a fundamental mantra: hide them in a place where no one expects. This is Chief Jang's method. It meant that their hideouts were in places where no one would suspect. Bikisu knew about the people Chief Jang had trained. He also works in the same way. Therefore, if he is careless, he will fall straight into their trap. He enters that shop and thinks, what is actually happening here? Seeing the scene inside, he is amazed. The entire team was wiped out. Bodies were lying everywhere in the room, and blood was spilled. A surviving man asks in a weak voice, your target is not Bikisu, is it? No. In the meantime, we see a new person. It is Sha, it is Ron, what is it? It is Queen, the Bikisu is still alive. The man says and asks, what is happening here? As soon as he hears this question, the man remembers that terrible moment. His mind fills with anger, he says. All this was done by Section Chief Jang. He gathered everyone together and then fired bullets at everyone. He also says that they had used a wireless device. Hearing this, Bikisu learns that the other companies have also been cleared. The man wanted to say something else, but Bikisu stops him. But that man was about to die. Therefore, he tries to tell everything. He warns Lisu, you aren't strong enough yet to take on Section Chief Jang. This isn't that kind of organization. You can deal with it alone. Run off to stay alive. After saying his last words, he takes his last breath. A dangerous smile appears on Bikisu's face. This is the country they served.